Thank you for
That's
having
very.
me there.
It's, how to say this? It's always this little pride in that people like me, and I am pretty sure that a lot of Albanians feel whenever we laugh at your very, very creative jokes or stand-up comedy cuts that you have in Instagram and YouTube and all of that. So thank you for that, for making us a little bit proud that we have also characters like this to offer to the world.
Thank you. My main goal to entertain everyone the best that I know how.
But tell us, how did you start this, Edmond?
Um, I was working at a comedy club, and yeah, I mean, I was just working there selling tickets, seating people, sometimes working in the kitchen. And one of the managers, he started a comedy workshop. And I don't know what made me take it, but I had nothing going on. So I was just like, yeah, I'll try it out. And it turned out to be something I really loved. I was scared in the beginning, but it's very rewarding because the crowd cannot lie to you, you know.
Yeah, I bet that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
also amazing work. It turns out you're really good at it, or at least you got better. I don't know, one of both or both of them.
yeah. I mean, I definitely got better. uh, the first 6 months, maybe a year, it was uh, man. I feel like most, maybe all comedians have that stage where in the beginning it's so terrifying, and uh, people are not scared to be honest with you. They will let you know you weren't funny, and you have to go past that stage. It's more than just riding a bike and falling down because you only saw yourself falling down. No one else saw you. So you get back on and you ride it. Where uh, with comedy, everybody sees you fall. Everyone. You're doing it in the public eye. So,
That can
uh,
be devastating to some people.
yeah. So it's a stage where you have to realize, am I going to go past this and really um, do it? And am I passionate enough about it to just go past that stage? Or do I just stop right here and, I'm not good enough, so that's it. I tried it.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, how did you find it, like, very difficult in the beginning, or how did you find it in the beginning?
Yeah, very difficult, because there are some unwritten rules in comedy. When you first start out, you want to be cleaner than most comedians, you know, um, because when you curse or you do a dark joke, it's risky, so you don't take those risks. And in the beginning, you don't know that. I was told early on, about some of those rules, so that definitely helped me. But um, no one can tell you like how to have a stage presence and how to say a joke and when to the timing. You just have to. They can tell you, but until you're up there doing it and practicing, it's not the same. So it takes, for me, at least a year to just at least realize what I'm supposed to do, what it's supposed to be like.
But doesn't that depend a little bit on, like, what everybody's like character or the way they go onto the stage, though? Like, is there no, like, new comedian that goes directly and takes the risk and though goes directly very, like, dark and I don't know, maybe cussing a little bit also?
There are, but the problem is the comedy clubs are less likely to have you back if you're fairly new, if you don't have a name, if no one knows who you are. They don't want to risk that. It's like if you offend somebody, why would they have you back? You're not selling tickets. Even if some of the people are laughing, all it takes is like a couple of people to complain, and it's like, you know, when you're established, you can do whatever you want. When you're Dave Chappelle, he can say anything he wants. He will not get canceled. He will always be booked. He will always have work, right? But when you're fairly new, you have certain limits, and you have to slowly, build on. Like, you can't just go up there, do 10 minutes of dark humor. Even if you laugh, it's a risk, but you can do your regular set and then throw one in there once in a while and just kind of see, how it lands.
Yeah, just try the waters every once in a while. I get it. I get it. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Is it like are you doing this full time now?
I wouldn't say full time. In the off season, I travel more. I live in Myrtle Beach, so it's a very tourist area. So in the summertime, I'll work, do other side gigs. But um, in the off season, I'll travel more. Like tomorrow, I'm leaving to go to Las Vegas. I'll be performing there. Um, and then when I get back from there, I'm going to plan some other trips. So um, the problem is it's not a lot of money into comedy. It's just like anything else. If you're not selling seats, you don't make a lot of money. So
I get it. I get it. Well, let's go a little bit back since the beginning. Where from Albania are you originally?
Pogradec.
Okay, that.
Yeah.
Nice. So also do I formulate this? Were you born in the US or were you born in Pogradec and then you moved?
Yeah, so I was born in Pogradec. We came to US in 2002. I was 10 years old. I am 31 now, about to be 32. So we've been here maybe 21, 22 years in the US. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. So you do remember like a lot of it, or you don't remember a lot? Do you remember a lot of Albania, or have you been
I,
visiting?
I have been visiting the last couple of years. I visited a lot, but I also do remember. Um,
No, it's all right. Happens.
um, I remember. I mean, yeah, I remember my childhood. You know, yeah, and some of those comedians that I was watching growing up. You know, Agron Laka is like one of my favorites, and I remember him. He's one of the few that I remember. I talk
I
about
get
him
it.
all the time because, like, I don't know. To me, he's just like one of my favorites. So,
I get it. What about like material in the Albanian language? Do you also have materials in that language, or you don't feel comfortable enough to like write something?
so when I went to Albania recently, I did a couple of sets in Albanian, and it was a lot like my first few sets that I did.
Yeah, yeah, it's all right. I can edit it.
Hold on, hold on. I gotta send a text message. Hold on 1 second.
No problem. No problem. No, I meant like, do you also have material in Albanian, or don't you feel comfortable enough or fluent enough or whatever to do that? What's your relationship with the language? Is it like do you use it, or do you never use it at all? Or yeah, it's better to be safe on that moment. I get that. No, still like I mean, did you have enough Filipino friends when you grew up over there? That's better. Yeah, I get it. If you feel more proficient in English, so that's language of choice. I don't have any problem with that. Do you visit often back home? Well, congratulations. Is there anything that you miss, like at all, except like family, about Albania or about Pogrades or whatever? What about the culture? What about the people? What is it that you like more, or that you miss, or whatever? Oh, well, yeah. I mean, sure, that is one side of it, but also like you have to keep in mind, like in Albania and Tirana, for example, is also going in the same direction. That's maybe still in Pogradec or in Berat, where I am originally from, and
Mhm.
cities like that. But like in the mega cities, that is slowly also dying. It's a fast life, when you live in bigger cities, when you have to do a lot of things, and people are like very, very, very busy. Nobody has like the will or the desire anymore to go chat for, I don't know, just like 30 minutes coming from work. Just used to happen in the neighborhood, just people just standing on the road while walking home and just chatting to each other. Yeah, that was a cool thing. I never thought about it until now. That's a pretty nice thing that we used to do back then, at least. I don't know what's the situation now. Also not been living there continuously for almost like 9 years, 10 years now. Who knows?
Mhm. It's mostly Nafshat, I miss that. And then the city, yeah, I mean, it's becoming more like here. Everybody's doing their own thing. Um, and there's no the one of the main things in culture is like everyone supports each other. You live together, support each other, and build something. Here, it's like as soon as somebody turns 18 years old, they're out of the house. Like their parents basically tell them to leave. Like you know, and then that person that kid is on their own, and I feel like he or she is less likely to succeed if they're just on by themselves, trying to build a life. And so I respect that, and it's not just Albania. I mean, I feel like it's a lot of places in Europe. Italians, I feel like, do that too. You know.
Oh yeah, you would see like mostly like people that come from countries that are like poorer, like not poor, like dirt poor, but maybe like a little bit less money than they usually will have, and they know that it's like obviously better to stay together, obviously better to pay the rent together, obviously to like take the groceries and all of that until you are like solid enough to make like a big move, and then it works out for everybody. Yeah, but see, there is also a dark. Like I love this thing, and I also celebrate it like a lot. That there are still a lot of Albanians, like the majority of Albanians outside, they do this. But it also has a dark side, you know. The dark side, like on the news, it's the businesses, the brother killing each other just because
Yeah.
they do not agree with each other. So it
Yeah.
can go wrong really, really, really fast.
I agree, and it's just up to that person to realize, if you want to become a business partner with your relatives, or rather just save money. Because I've owned a business too, and I didn't include my parents or any family members. It was just me and the other people. So, and my dad would always ask me, he was like, "Hey, do you need me to work?" And I was like, "No, I'm just you just do your own thing, and I'm gonna do this, with my business partners." And so that's what happened. So it's, I feel like it's up to that person. If they feel like they can work together, do it. But you have to know yourself, and uh, in Albania, if you don't include someone, or if you include someone, or, so if, like for me, like, cause I owned a nightclub. So for a while. And so I was like, I don't need my family's help on this. I do financially, to buy in, but um, I don't need them to work there, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that makes sense.
so sometimes they would help me like outside of it when I was closing, like when we were closed for the off season, like maybe I need help painting it, or, moving some things around, but not during business hours.
Yeah, obviously.
So,
Obviously, no, that's a great choice. I see these things, and people. I just get sad that you're not involved in them. I find it to be pretty disturbing, at least. Like, well, I get it, like buy in and like have shares or whatever. Yeah, because you get the profit. But when somebody's gets like sad because you do not include them, like come and work during the shift, I find like, yeah, well, that you're not working. It's like work. It's not like you're just gonna get paid and stay in the corner. You have to work, but. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe people want to be part of it. People want to like touch it, to feel it in the moment, like how it is and how everything goes. I also am of the opinion that is unless you want to, unless you understand each other, doesn't matter if it is your brother or your dad, for that matter. As long as you are not 100% comfortable with yourself accepting that other person, I don't think you should do it.
and yeah, I mean, it's, I just think that, um some people here get like amazed a little bit with me and my parents, and there's other Albanians that live with their families that are very wealthy, that they don't even need to, and they still do it. And some people here get amazed at that, and it's like, how do y'all get along, or how do you do this? I'm like, because we had to in Albania, but from that foundation we just realized, it's better for everyone.
It is. It is. I think if you find the language, if you find a good communication ways, for example, to sort the things out, like leave each other alone, which is the most important part. If you're living together and if you have a common space, like you need to know to how to respect each other boundaries. I think that is possible because a lot, like you know how these trends are. Oh, would you live with him? Would you live with
Yeah.
that? Would you live with your wife's? Whatever the YouTubers make these days, and it annoys me every time because it's so cheesy, so corny. It doesn't It's not even the reality. Most of those people who say no are exactly the people who are going to get abused, probably. But that's another topic in itself. The idea behind it is like I think like they're just giving up in the name of this, get kicked out by 18 and you need to do everything on your own, otherwise you're a piece of shit. I think it's just fucking garbage. That's divide and conquer. Like
Yeah.
that's known for eternities. That is like, of course you would succeed, absolutely you can succeed, but it's way more difficult than it would be if you had your shoulders warm.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's obviously it's not always going to be easy just like that. You know? But I think it can be done, and I think it's a good thing. If you want to do it on your own, then that's great too. And um, but I'm not ashamed to say, my family, we helped each other instead of saying, oh, I did everything by myself. Um, because without my family, I wouldn't be able to do comedy. Because some of the shows I do, it's like more of an audition than actually getting paid to do it. Getting in front of the right people. So it's just like these shows next week. It's basically a free trip, but I don't make I don't make any money, but I'm getting in front of comedy club owners. So it's like if I didn't have my family support, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Okay, okay. Yes, no, that is absolutely important. You need to have the buffer, of course. Like you have to try a new thing, and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. You'll need people to look after you in a lot of ways. Now, not in only financial, but
Yeah,
maybe just also emotional or psychological or material or whatever a person may need in a specific moment. It's absolutely true. I'm also in the same opinion. It's kind of sad because I don't have my parents here or my family, for that matter. So it beats me a little bit that they're so far away, and I also behave like a dick sometimes and do not call them as much as I should, and I'm not close to them as much as I should or I would like. But this is it, and I see the others which are like very close and getting a lot of help and are not ungrateful, and that makes me
yeah,
also very angry.
yeah,
To get angry these days is pretty easy, I feel like so.
yeah, yeah. I agree.
But how what is the most of your audience? Because I've like watched like every video that you have, for example, in your YouTube channel and Instagram, and you have like a lot of material about Albania, about the culture, about Eastern Europe, stuff like that. And I've seen that a lot of people laugh, and I was surprised. Like either they do know Albania, or you made them know it, or ask themselves and like learn something about it, or I don't know. Do you feel like there are a lot of people there where you perform it and know what Albania actually is?
No, so that's one of the things that got me into comedy because one of the managers there, I would always just tell him stories about Albania and some of the things, and he was like, "You should talk about it on stage." And um, so most people don't, and it's mostly Americans, and I don't blame them. It's a very small country, so you know, it's not like a big tourist. They're not promoting it as a tourist area in America. It's like they promote the Bahamas or Mexico or any of those places. So, but one of the things I realized is I can say anything about Albania as long as it's funny, they'll laugh. So I just exaggerate some of the things, and because my main goal is just to entertain. So they don't know what the truth is. So I can just anything, and if it's a good joke, they'll laugh.
It's pretty cool like that. So Albania can be anything that you want it to be, or anything that could make them laugh. That's pretty cool.
Because no one else is talking about Albania. So they just know me as the Albanian guy.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's a pretty good thing. You get a whole culture on your shoulders, So that's pretty good. That's
But
pretty
that's one
good.
thing I realized is my friends tell me you can say anything you want if it's a good solid joke, do it. And I don't think people really care about the truth. You know, you have to really make a point if you really want to talk about the truth of whatever subject talk about. They're there to laugh, right? So as long as you make them laugh, they don't care.
They don't care at all. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. I feel like to something I see. Maybe me as a person, I would actually like get curious if somebody I don't know from Malaysia or whatever was on stage talking about that. Like I will get me like researching and like looking up stuff. And I think that maybe not everybody, maybe not the majority, but I think that absolutely in the audience would be people that is like, well, this guy is pretty funny. I would actually just like Google in my phone what Albania is.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty cool thing. That's a pretty cool thing. It's spreading the word, doing the work of God, how they say, you know.
And
Pretty cool.
people look it up. I'm not sure, but at that moment, it's about laughing. So, uh, if somebody's making you laugh, you don't question them. You laugh, and then he's talking about something else, and we're moving on. So, and then yeah, you can go home and search, like where is this country? What do they, So yeah.
And do you have anything planned for yourself in the future? Anything like you would like to share?
Right now, I'm just auditioning for any and everything I can find as far as stand-up comedy. So uh, I'm sure I'll get something one way or another one day. But that's my main goal, is just audition to get um, not just going viral on Instagram. It's something more than that. Whether it's a comedy special, whether it's any other show, anything really to just build on more.
Yeah, I think everybody would love a comedy, especially from an Albanian comedian. That'll be, for example, for the bigger audience or for the bigger picture, it will really be something like very, how do you say, like from Zoas,
Yeah,
inspiring. And like maybe there are other people who want to do it and they just are not strong enough or like strong. They just didn't find the muse yet, so maybe and that helps, That
yeah,
plus it's good every now and then to have a comedian, a doctor, except not only like drug dealers and all that
yeah,
jazz. It's pretty good, just balancing shit out a little bit.
yeah,
We need a lot of that, especially these last few years. So
yeah.
okay, well. I wanted to ask you another thing. I don't remember. I just have to look it up again. Oh yeah. What are your plans? What are your plans for Albania? And like, where are you going to be in Albania again and maybe perform there?
So I'll be there hopefully in a few months, um, but and then I'll probably try to perform again. Yeah, the comedy club there is very generous, and the comedy club owner, so they're very supportive, and I'm sure they would let me up again. So next
Mm.
year, once I know for sure when I'm going, I'm going to plan a date and perform. Yeah.
Yes, pretty good. Well, I wish you all the best, and I wish you all the best to the trips that you have before. Now that you're going to Las Vegas, to the ones that you mentioned before, I wish you best of luck, and hopefully you get what you want.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for having me on your podcast.
Thank you for coming, and I would hope to chat another time in the future.
Yeah, of course. Let me know.
Until then, be well and see you. Have a great time.
Thank you.